How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video. Today we're going to talk about my hopes, my wants, and my dreams for Flesh and Blood in 2021. So these are my things that I want to see happen most to Flesh and Blood in 2021. This is actually a topic that I saw the gentleman from Radio Reflex talk about in one of their recent podcasts. And by the way, if you do not watch Radio Reflex, I highly recommend watching Radio Reflex. Ian and Alan are both really nice dudes, and they have a really good knowledge of the game Flesh and Blood, especially because they both at one time worked at Legend Story Studios. Ian used to work at Legend Story Studios, and Alan is the current organized play manager from Legend Story Studios. And I feel that their podcast is highly underrated. So, check out Radio Reflex. You know what? I will throw a link in the description down below to Radio Reflex because I got the idea for today's video from them, and I think they're worth watching. So check out Radio Reflex. I don't even know I'm doing this. So yeah, just check them out. Tell them that I sent you there. Before we get started, I do want to give a couple quick shoutouts. If you're looking to pick up Flesh and Blood singles and you're from the US, I highly recommend checking out FAB Foundry. Excellent pricing, excellent customer service, just a really nice dude, and he has a bunch of content on there as well, content on his own channel. I highly recommend FAB Foundry. I buy from them personally. And if you're from Canada, check out Red Riot Games. Once again, excellent folks from there, excellent customer service. They do a lot of sales. And, if you're from Canada, definitely check them out. You don't have to pay for that crazy international shipping buying from the US. I do have affiliate links with both of these stores in the description down below, as well as an affiliate link with TCG Player if you'd like to buy from TCG Player, or, you can just support my Patreon if you'd like to support me directly. But without further ado, let's start talking about my most desired things for this fantastic game of Flesh and Blood in 2021. So the first thing is very simple, actually. I want everyone who wants to play Flesh and Blood to be able to get the game with no trouble, because currently it's actually pretty hard to get unlimited Flesh and Blood. So my number one want for Flesh and Blood in 2021 is for people who want to play the game, for them to easily have access to unlimited cards, not necessarily first edition cards, but unlimited cards, especially those Blitz starter decks coming out in Monarch. And I do know that Monarch will be releasing with the unlimited set only 3 weeks after the first edition set, and I hope that release is very plentiful, and all of the people who want to play Monarch, who want to play Flesh and Blood, are able to do so at a good price. And that's very important. The price needs to be good because those Monarch decks are only $12, and if they stay $12, that is an amazing price for a new player to start playing a game. For booster boxes, I really want to see those prices come down sub $100, man. I want to see those booster boxes at $80. $80 for all unlimited products. Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, Crucible of War, which actually got a sneaky unlimited reprint, kind of announced, and Monarch. All four of those sets should be unlimited and below $100. $80, $75 to $80 ideally. I also just want to see more people try the game out. I see a lot of negativity. On my channel, I do see people comment and they're like, the game's a scam, the game's a bubble. Yo, just try it out. Once the game becomes more affordable to, purchase a, Blitz starter deck at $12, try the game out, see if it is worth it for you, because it is not a scam, dude. This game is fantastic. I got in this game back before anyone even knew about it, and, definitely wasn't a scam then, definitely not a scam now. And I think the more people who try this game out, the more lifelong players we'll have, because Flesh and Blood is such a fantastic game. It has already converted a lot of Magic the Gathering diehards over, and also people from other card games like, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, even Force of Will and other card games like that. So, I would also like to see lots of people just trying Flesh and Blood out, and I will do my best to make that as easy as possible for folks out there, either by recommending really good stores, reputable dealers, or maybe by doing some future giveaways or something like that, providing information on what the best things to buy, which things are maybe you should avoid, all that kind of stuff. That is just generally one of my main goals for Red Zone Rogue, is just to help people get into this excellent card game that I'm super passionate about. I'm passionate about card games in general, but in particular Flesh and Blood has kind of taken over a lot of this channel and become the main focus, and that's really what my goal is here, to help foster an excellent Flesh and Blood community. And I think it's more than doable because it's such an excellent game. Another thing I want to see are official organized play events here in the United States. That would be amazing. And I know that's all determined by the state of COVID and all that kind of stuff going on. So, I really hope that, we can get our act together, get COVID under control, and finally start having, organized play events here in the United States. I've already talked to some folks in my local area on it from Fab Foundry. Really wants to do some, big events and start holding tournaments once we can, and you can bet your butt, dude, I'm gonna be there, man. That is one of the things I want personally most in 2021, just to have, events, just to have events at all in the US. That would be amazing. US, Canada, Europe, everywhere you can't have events, I would love for you to have events. I would also like to see 3 sets come out this year. Monarch is releasing pretty late in the year, and I really hope we don't just see 2 sets. We already have Monarch confirmed, late April. We also have Kingdoms coming out Q3. I don't think we're gonna have 3 sets, but I think 3 sets a year is that magic number, that sweet spot. And I know James from Legend Story Studios has said in an interview that they want to release 3 sets a year, and I think that's the perfect amount of sets to release a year, because that gives enough time for people to like really sink their teeth into the set and to kind of like figure out the meta and things to evolve. But it's also not too soon where people like, get bored of the stuff and, they start like craving new cards and that kind of stuff. So it's the right amount of time where wallet fatigue doesn't set in and you still really want to see that next set, but it's not like super unbearable. So I think every like 3 to 4 months, a brand new set should come out. Probably like every, like I said, 3 times a year. So every, 4 months or something like that. I have a very strong feeling that if Monarch has 4 new classes and we have 12 classes, and I really think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do 12 classes and they're gonna form like the core class structure for Flesh and Blood. Reminds me a lot of the Warcraft TCG. 12 core classes, and then in Kingdoms, we'll start seeing extra heroes and extra support for those 12 classes. In addition to that kind of stuff, I'd like to see some generic things like, I'd love to see the Alchemist class. I'd love to see like Assassin. I think that stuff could be in either Monarch or Kingdoms. There's a lot of classes that I would love to see. I would love to see more support for Azalea, more support for Viscera, Runeblade and Ranger. Just a lot more support, really strong stuff for those classes to make them more viable. In addition to some awesome new, new classes in general, especially some new arcane damage classes, because we are sorely lacking in, only spellcaster arcane damage classes. We only have 1, and then we have like a hybrid. We need more arcane spellcasting, classes. So those are my big wants for Flesh and Blood in 2021. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. If you've watched this far, maybe tell me what your most wanted hero class is. Like your most wanted new hero class is. If you watched this far, tell me in the comments down below what your most wanted new hero class is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for some more card game content. See y'all later.